So, we may have a problem. Turns out the screws might have been a little bit too long.
You heard that right. We have several holes in the side of our RV right now. RV newbie mistake number 1. RV renovations and newbie mistakes. Episode 8 of Project RV Living Lost. As first-time RV owners, we knew that there would be some bumps and bruises along the road as we start this full-time journey.
We also knew we'd like to make some slight changes to our Kodiak Ultimate to make it our own.
It is our home now, so, we want it to be as comfortable as possible. Luckily, my wife is super handy with power tools.
We're about to do some construction.
Here, we already brought this whole mattress in here, but all that's keeping us are these little shelves.
We get a knock on the door this morning from one of our very kind neighbors to let us know that we have something leaking out the side of the trailer. As you've already seen, some of our changes didn't go exactly according to plan. You all saw we had a little accident outside. We were installing this TV mount right here. And now kind of explain the thinking here. Like right above your head, there's a sticker that says...
It says television mount located here.
Okay. Now, what was our issue?
So, I guess maybe there's RV specific TV mounts, or maybe we're just dumb and should know better than to drill in screws that are about this long. But it went through to the other side. I was wondering why it was so hard to get through.
Yeah, the anchor screws were a bit too long for this particular spot.
The width of our walls.
Yeah.
Probably about by a 1/2 inch. So I did go to Home Depot and got some similar screws that were about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25 inches, I think, just to make sure they didn't go through. So at least the screws aren't going through the other side anymore, but we have some holes.
Yeah. Obviously, we are not free of newbie mistakes. So if you have a suggestion as to how to fix those holes and you'd like to drop that in the comments below, maybe you'll help us, maybe you'll help somebody else in the future. So now that we've got those screws in there, works pretty good, right?
It does.
Nice and secure.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it's good now. Just gotta fix the holes.
Before we get to how we fix those holes on the side, let's show you a little other modifications and fixes that we've done on our month on the road.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a lot of these ideas like we did from just going on YouTube. Move-in time to the RV, and we have this really, really sweet bed, and we wanted to make sure that we got an RV big enough to fit a king. Well, word on the street is that a RV king is different than a regular king, and apparently that's true. No one wants an uncomfortable bed. And when we were RV shopping, being able to fit our bed into the RV that we were gonna get was high on our needs list.
We have a really comfortable king size mattress.
Yeah. It's kind of something that you've got to decide when you're RV shopping. What are your priorities? What must you have in order to make it comfortable, in order to make it home? Shelves out, as you can see. And we are sliding this thing back in. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, looks like we made the
It fits like a glove.
we made the king size bed a real thing in the RV.
Whew.
Basically. I mean, it hangs off a little bit.
Just a little. That's not bad at all. That's not
What?
bad at all.
It could be worse. It's,
Like 1.5 inches.
it's worth it for the 8 inches of comfort. So all is well. 8-inch king size, right? Got it in here. Fits into the spot. Hangs over again, the edge of the bed a little bit. The problem is that the mattress that they put in these things are super pliable in order to get to the space underneath your bed, which is right here. Unfortunately, this being such a heavy bed, we now have to have pieces of wood that hold it up while we're in here. If it was just a regular mattress, these would hold the mattress up on its own. Also, in addition to that, I'm the only one strong enough in the RV to actually lift the bed up, so unfortunately when Victoria wants to get under here, she's got to call for me. So that is the downside to bringing this extra thick, heavy mattress in here, but totally worth the comfort, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I can do it, by the way. I just prefer to let you do it.
We showed you that we had to move those shelves. Relocating those shelves was actually a fairly simple process. 4 screws. Measure the desired height, reinsert. Now that we've taken them from underneath this windowsill and reapplied them in the spot, super convenient for us to get to at night. It's at the right height and super sturdy as well. I've had a full 40-ounce hydro flask on here, my cell phone, other things at night, and no issue. So in our opinion, relocating those shelves was 100% the right thing to do.
We gotta go get some wood for shelves. We're trying to make the most of our closet space. We've got little like racks to set shelves on, but we need to find like wood that will fit in there.
So of course, space is a really big thing when you move into an RV. You got to make sure like you have places to put things, especially in the closet. Like we downgraded a lot, but Mama needs her clothes.
Yeah, I get that.
So there's a decent amount of space, but it's not utilized very well. Like, I mean, you got a hanger or you got some place where you can hang things, but down here it's just like an open space. So I figured the easiest way to do that is to break it up a little bit, because you're not just gonna have one big pile of clothes. So we got this for about $20, I think, at the Container Store. Mm-hmm. You can get cheaper ones on Amazon or at Walmart or something, but I like the sturdiness of this so we could actually use it as shelves, because the other ones would literally just collapse. So down here, I'm in the middle of putting up these shelves that I got from Home Depot. I don't really know exactly how much they were, but it's pretty cheap. Just got some screws and these things, and this will just go on top of it. So you can put it wherever you want, and if we feel like it, we can have multiple shelves, but we'll kind of see where it goes.
Victoria, the handyman here.
I still have to cut 2 holes where these little things go to let it sit flush.
What are you going to make that cut with?
I guess a saw. That might do.
Alright, so it looks like the shelf is in there. Let's see how all these clothes fit. We're going to try and stay organized. T-shirts up top here. Yeah, this is super efficient in terms of, instead of just stacking everything on top of each other and having to pull something out.
And the whole thing collapses?
Yeah, this thing makes it a lot easier to get to what you're trying to get to. And boom, just like that, everything fits. Nice and easy. Cool.
Mechanically speaking, thankfully for the RV, we've only had one issue so far, and it was the water heater.
We get a knock on the door this morning from one of our very kind neighbors to let us know that we have something leaking out the side of the trailer.
Truth be told, this one had us a little worried at first because literally there's just a fountain of water coming out of the side of our RV.
Looks like one of the caps is busted, so I guess we're just gonna put some like silicone on it for right now. Adhesive to try and get it, you know, sealed up until we figure out what the deal is. If y'all got advice, below, comment.
No, I think that the foam was just pushed up so it looked like it was crooked. You know what I mean? Pretty sure it's on there. It just is leaking underneath.
Okay, first things first. Marry you a wife that's handy with tools, right? Seriously. So we showed you the water heater issue that we had a little bit earlier today when our neighbor stopped by and let us know. Well, a few hours later, we believe that we have the solution. Victoria, you want to tell them what you did?
Sure. All right. So I went to Home Depot, like usual, and I got a 1/2 inch PVC plug, like 8 cents, and some plumber's tape, which, by the way, I learned that you should wrap it opposite the way that you want to screw so that it doesn't unravel whenever you screw it in.
Oh, that's good advice.
Yeah, so then I put that in there, and then of course added some of that silicone sealant. Why not? Just in case. So.
And that's the silicone that wasn't doing the job earlier today when we were trying to fix it, right?
Not by itself, but I figured it wouldn't help just to add a little bit on top of it, so.
Okay, well, we've given it a chance to set and dry a little bit. We've had the water off, so.
I would really like for it to be okay so we can take showers.
Yeah, that's been a big issue. No showers, no bathroom for the day. Okay.
Telling the truth.
And what's it looking like in there?
Woo!
Oh,
It's
well,
on.
water's on. Any leak?
So we had a drip right down here. I see a little droplet, but what do you think?
That looks way better than it was.
Yeah. I think
Looks
it's
like
working.
everything's set pretty in there pretty good.
Yeah.
Again,
Nailed
marry
it.
you a wife that knows how to YouTube fixes and is good with tools.
Since we fixed it, we really haven't had any other issues or had to replace anything. But if we do, thank goodness we do have a warranty, so we'll see.
Yeah. Now, technically, this is not an RV modification, but living full-time on the road, obviously you're looking for as much space as you can find wherever you can find it. So our idea was to install a truck bed cover, just to feel a little bit more secure about the items that we were keeping in there on a regular basis. Truck bed cover installation day. A Tonneau Pro trifold. It's a soft cover, correct?
Soft cover. Mm-hmm.
Truck bed cover for our Ford F-250.
Yeah, I don't know much about it yet, but it's got gloves.
Comes with gloves apparently. We're gonna look at these instructions, but it kind of looks like it's fairly easy to install.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, so we'll walk you through it here real quick, and hopefully we don't break anything, you know? All right, so first step is to get it up there. It is a little bit heavy, but we're gonna set it up on the very top and tighten the screws on the very back on the inside.
Yeah, but like in life, not everything always goes according to plan. This looks too short, man. I ordered the right one, I swear.
Okay.
Definitely ordered the 8 foot. This is for a 6 foot.
So is this RV newbie mistake number 2?
No, it wasn't my mistake. You can look at my Amazon.
Looks like the truck bed company sent us 2 feet short. They sent us the 6 foot bed.
Look,
I don't know if you can even see that.
8 feet. That's what I ordered.
We gotta send it back, and unfortunately we tore up that box.
Thomas destroyed it.
Whew. It was taped everywhere, so I just... Yeah. Okay, so... It's no big deal. It's actually looks and feels more durable than I expected as the soft one, so there's that. That's a bonus.
When we finally get the right one, I think it'll be great.
Yeah, me too. But who knows how long that'll take. We'll see. To be continued. Okay, let's try this again. Take 2 on the truck bed cover.
They sent us the wrong one the first time.
Yeah.
I made sure. Wasn't my fault.
Yeah, we did check the order. We definitely ordered the 8-foot long truck bed cover. They sent us 6, and obviously, as you see in the video, we didn't realize it till it was already on the truck. So let's try this again. And also, pro tip, don't destroy the box that they send this to you in, especially if it's the wrong one, because we tore up that last box. And
We tore it up.
Okay, I tore it up, and yeah, had to wait for the new box to come before we can send the old thing back. So,
Great idea from his dad.
yeah. So the one that we're about to try and put on there is the tonneau. My wife is making all sorts of weird noises climbing into this truck. The tonneau trifold cover is what we're trying to get installed right now. Again, we have the extra long extended bed. And that, folks, is how you save a box.
Notice who cut it open.
So this new bed cover is a lot lighter than the old one, and I'm thinking, because I've never owned a truck bed cover before, that the first one that they sent us was actually a hardcover, and we just didn't realize it. We did order the soft one, so it is actually a lot lighter.
We've already messed up the first step. Step 1, wash the truck bed.
Well, we swept it, well, kinda. I did like an hour ago, and now all the leaves are already in here.
Unfold the tonneau fully and adjust the position over the truck bed for proper cab tail alignment. Does it look like it's about even? I think
Well,
we're good.
it's definitely the right length. So check on that. So we're already doing better than last time.
Alright, now we're going to screw it in. Do not secure to only lip. Righty tighty.
It's a good forearm workout right there.
I said we're done.
That's it. So screw it in at the top.
Well, and then I think it's just walking you through. This. So I think all you gotta do is just kind of tighten that so it would be tight enough to go on whenever you do that.
Alright, let's see it. The installation queen right here.
I've done my fair share of IKEA furniture.
This is actually probably easier than most IKEA furniture.
It doesn't have a lock, but because the clamps are on the inside, if you put this up and lock the truck, you can't get in there.
Yeah. I mean, getting into that would be... I mean, you'd probably have to cut into the top of it to get into
You
it.
could do that, but
I mean, you could do it because it's a soft cover, but it makes you feel a little bit more secure that your stuff's not just wide open for people to reach in and grab. So we decided to go with the soft one just because it's, what, like $400 cheaper or something like that. I think it was $250. We got it off of Amazon.
maybe closer to 300. But
So-
either way, the hard covers we were looking had her like 1,000. So.
Right. So this was a cheaper option. We're not made of money. So it looks good. It's completely on there, and I'm happy. I'm happy we got this done.
Security?
Yeah.
All right.
They flying up on the highway.
That seems pretty easy. All right. Good purchase? All right, cool. Tonneau Pro, trifold.
So when we first made our big mistake, we posted on a couple of Facebook pages to see if we could maybe get some ideas for how to fix it. So, as always, I went to Home Depot. Let's see. I got all the essentials, some sandpaper, a little bit of painter's tape. There was a couple of different ways we could do this, but I got an epoxy putty stick. Oh, you always need a little pumpkin candle. And some primer. We don't have tape yet, paint yet, but at least we can prime it for
Yeah,
now.
we'll get the color matched eventually.
This is key though. This was in all the videos.
The candle?
Yeah.
In order to actually get up to fix these holes that we put here, we don't actually have a ladder tall enough. So we had to back the truck up right up against the RV, and we're gonna have to get up there in order to fix it. So we'll see how that works. The first step, again, from these YouTube videos is to sand down the exterior so you can get some of this extra fiberglass off. So we're using a 36 grade sandpaper.
So there were a couple of different ways to do this. They had like resin or epoxy that you would actually mix together or whatever. But given the size of the hole, I figured that just a little bit of putty would work. This is Gorilla epoxy stick, and it costs like $6-7. So we'll see.
Yep. Step 2.
I'm putting a little bit in, and then a little bit around because I'm gonna smooth it out with sandpaper anyway. So.
All right, looks like all 4 holes are patched. How long does this need to set for?
It'll set in about 10 minutes, which isn't too bad. And then it says you can drill, sand, paint, everything, so.
Okay.
10 minutes.
We have let the epoxy dry. 10 minutes is all it really took. Now we're gonna take in 80 grit sandpaper and flatten that part out.
I have to say hand sanding is a lot easier if you have someone to swap out with.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, next step. 320. See how smooth we can get it, and then I think we might be ready to put the primer on it. So now that it's all sanded down, sanded smooth, we put up some painter's tape and some paper just to protect the surrounding areas, and it's time to prime.
Time to prime.
Putting on a couple of layers of primer, a couple minutes in between, and then hopefully sanding it at about after 30 minutes, and also putting on a couple more layers of tape because I have a wild hand. We're gonna sand again with 320, and that should be fine enough to be able to paint over, even though we don't have to paint yet, but at least we're doing everything we can in the meantime.
Yeah. And we let that primer sit, that spray primer, 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Not bad at all. So plan after we get this all sanded down is to take it to a paint shop where they can apparently take a picture of it and digitally match the coat of the RV.
I was like, why can't we just get white spray paint? But whatever.
We would prefer to match it for sure.
I think the main lesson of the day is even if you're just a little handy and you can look up YouTube videos, then you can save a lot of time and money that you would hiring a repairman on some of these things.
Yeah, these things can get expensive, so if you can fix it yourself, why not try at least, you know? Again, we'll emphasize the warranty part in case we couldn't fix it.
Especially for full-timers.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the road until whenever, so got to be able to fix stuff.
You might also find some good space-saving ideas too.
Now, we've shown you what we've done with our rig, but in the comments below, we'd be curious to hear from you. Have you watched YouTube videos and found some really cool modifications that you've made to your RV? Can maybe help us in the future and others as well.
Now, if you like what we've been doing, make sure you subscribe and like. And if you want to know what we're doing day to day, you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Project RV Living Lost.
And we'll see y'all next Sunday, where we head to San Antonio to go get weird on the streets for Halloween.
Spooky.